You know that dreaded check engine light? It pops up on your dashboard and your heart just sinks a little bit, right? Well, what if I told you we could play detective and actually crack one of the most common cases behind it? Let's dive in and solve this thing. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever been at the gas station and the pump just keeps clicking off? It's so frustrating. Or maybe you've been walking around your car and caught a faint whiff of gasoline. If any of that sounds familiar, well, you've already found the first clues in our investigation.
All right, every good detective story starts by gathering the evidence. Your car, it's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for us, and our job is to piece them all together to figure out what's really going on.
So, what are we looking for? Well, the big one, of course, is that check engine light, but also that fuel smell, the annoying gas pump issue, or maybe you hear a big whoosh of air when you twist off your gas cap. All of these clues, they're not random. They all point our investigation in one very, very specific direction. Okay, we've got our clues. Now it's time to narrow down the scene of the crime and identify our prime suspect. This is going to lead us to a critical, but honestly, often misunderstood part of your car's whole system. The whole operation is happening in what's called the EVAP system. Its job is actually pretty brilliant. It captures all those nasty gasoline fumes from your fuel tank, and instead of just letting them pollute the air, it recycles them. It sends them back into the engine to get burned up. It's all about keeping the air clean. And inside this system, there's a key piece of equipment, the charcoal canister. Just think of it like a temporary jail cell for those fuel vapors. It's packed with little carbon pellets that soak up and hold onto those fumes until the engine says, "Okay, I'm ready for them." And this brings us to our number one suspect, the vent valve solenoid. Now, solenoid is just a fancy word for a simple electric valve. This little part has a huge job. It's basically the gatekeeper that controls when fresh air is allowed into the EVAP system. And when it messes up, the whole system just goes haywire. Now listen up, because this is super important. A classic rookie mistake is confusing our suspect, the vent valve, with its partner in crime, the purge valve. The easiest way to tell them apart? Location, location, location. The vent valve, our guy, is hiding underneath the car, back by the fuel tank. The purge valve, it's up top, sitting on the engine. Different jobs, different places. We gotta make sure we're questioning the right part. So our suspect here, it usually fails in one of two ways. It either gets stuck wide open, or it gets stuck completely shut. Each one of these failures creates a totally different set of clues, and figuring out which is the key to cracking this whole case. So let's connect the dots. If you're smelling fuel, or if your car's computer is screaming about a large leak, chances are the valve is stuck open. On the flip side, if that gas pump is driving you crazy by clicking off, or you get that whoosh from the gas cap, it's almost a guarantee the valve is stuck closed and pressure is building up in your tank. See? The clues tell the story. Okay, we've analyzed the clues, we've established a motive. Now it's time to bring our suspect in for questioning. We're going to run a few simple tests and see if we can get a confession. Our interrogation is a three-step process. First, we'll check the public record. We'll scan for error codes. Second, we're going to check its vitals with a quick electrical test. And finally, we'll do a physical checkup with a simple manual test. The fastest way to get the dirt is to talk to the one witness that sees everything, your car's computer. All you have to do is plug in a simple OBD2 scanner, and it'll tell us exactly what dirt it's been storing up. And these are the codes you want to look for. That P0455 code, that's basically the computer shouting, "There's a giant leak," which points right at a valve that's stuck open. Codes like P0449 or P0446 are even better. They're like an eyewitness pointing a finger directly at the vent valve circuit itself. So what if the codes point to an electrical problem? Well, our next move is to go straight to the source. We're going to grab a multimeter and test the health of the solenoid's internal wiring. Okay, get ready to burn this number into your brain. A healthy, properly working vent valve solenoid should have an electrical resistance somewhere between 10 and 30 ohms. That's the magic number. Think of it as a healthy heartbeat. So, if your meter reads 0, that means there's a short circuit inside. If it reads OL, which means open loop, or infinity, the circuit's broken. Either one of those readings is a full confession. The solenoid is toast, electrically speaking, and it's time for a new one. But wait, what if it passes the electrical test? Aha! The suspect is tricky. It could still be mechanically stuck.
So for our final interrogation, we're going to do a super simple but really effective manual test to see if the valve is physically doing its job.
This test is beautiful because it's so simple. You take the valve off the car with no power going to it, you should be able to blow air right through it, no problem. But the second you apply 12 volts to it, bam, it should click shut and you shouldn't be able to get any air through at all. If it fails either part of that test, we got him. Culprit found.
So, after our 3-step interrogation, all the evidence is pointing overwhelmingly toward a busted vent valve. But a good detective never gets tunnel vision. You always got to consider that the suspect might have had some help.
And that idea is so important. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's the vent valve, it's the prime suspect for a reason. But sometimes it has accomplices that can cause the exact same problems. And this leads us to the final twist in our investigation. What do you do if you run all the tests and the vent valve seems to be working perfectly? Where do you even look next? Well, you have to check out the rest of the crew. The issue could be something as simple as a chewed-up wire or a blown fuse that's not letting power get to the valve. Or, especially if you like to go off-roading, the hoses could literally be clogged up with mud and junk. It's even possible for the whole charcoal canister to just get saturated and fail, which looks a lot like a stuck valve.
So, the next time that check engine light comes on, you're not just a car owner anymore, you're a detective. You have the tools, you have the knowledge to read the clues and start your own investigation. So the only question left is, what's your car trying to tell you?